Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we've got a Start Collecting Age of Sigmar Warcry video for you, and today we're going to be looking at how we can use the Start Collecting Soulblight Gravelords box set to start a Soulblight Gravelords Warband for Warcry. In this video, we'll talk about all the contents that come inside the Start Collecting Soulblight Gravelords box set and what they can do on the tabletop in Warcry for us, and then we'll take a look at some other units we can bring into the force to expand upon this initial Start Collecting box. Finally, at the end of the video, we'll do a little sample warband of 1000 renown to show you how to build an army that you can use as some inspiration to build your own force, or indeed copy ours if that's what you want to do. With that said, let's get talking about what is inside this box set in particular. Now we get one character option inside this box set, and this model actually is only available inside this box set at current, and that is the White King on Skeletal Steed. Now, cavalry have their own issues in Warcry. They can't climb stairs, and they struggle to get on top of buildings. However, they do have other abilities that really make up for it. First of all, they generally get some cool abilities, like we have with the White King on Skeletal Steed with Deathly Charge. Until the end of this fighter's activation for a triple, the next time this fighter finishes a move action within 1 inch of an enemy fighter, you pick a visible enemy fighter within 1 inch of the fighter and allocate a number of damage points equal to the value of this ability. Pretty cool stuff. Now, he's not only got that cool ability, but a toughness of 5, 30 wounds, and he's pretty solid as well. A movement of 8 is nice as well, and pretty fast for death stuff. They're generally quite slow. So he's a really hardy character that can actually get to places pretty quick. So while he can't move up and down and go over steps and all of that sort of stuff, he can go around things a lot quicker. We also have the other ability that we have available to the White King on Skeletal Steed, and also available to him in his unmounted version, and that is Beheading Strike for a double. At half the value of this ability, rounding up to the number of damage points allocated by critical hits from the start of the next activation made by this fighter that has a range of 3 or less for their attacks. Pretty cool stuff. And lastly, all characters get this available to them if they are Soulblight Gravelords, and that is a triple called Summon Undead Minions, where effectively you get to choose one of your minion rune-marked models to bring back to the fight. Now, speaking of minion rune-marked miniatures, we have 20 Graveguard inside this box set, and they come in a couple of different varieties. Now, Graveguard do have some cool abilities of their own. They'll have the Shambling Horde ability, where a fighter with this ability can only use it if they're within 6 inches of a friendly fighter with a leader rune mark. This fighter can make a bonus move action a number of inches equal to the value of this ability, which is pretty nice. And then they've also got some other cool abilities there as well available to them. If you go for the Sensual route, you can start using hero abilities because the Sensual is the unit champion, the leader for the unit. But you do have 2 different weapon loadouts. So you've either got the Crypt Guard with White Blade and Crypt Shield, which has 3 attacks at strength 4, 1/4 on the damage, toughness 4 and 10 wounds. Or you can drop a point of toughness to go toughness 3, but have 3 attacks at strength 5, 2/4 on the damage, 10 wounds again. Both of them are 70 renown, so you've got some options to make when you want to choose on which version of these you want to do. I do think a good mix of both is probably the best way to go. The last models inside the box set are our other cavalry options, which are the Black Knights. Black Knights have a toughness of 4 and 18 wounds, make them pretty decent at survivable. 2 attacks and then strength 3, 1/4 on the damage. And they also have the Deathly Charge ability where they can do some impact hit damage when they charge. You could choose to take a Hell Knight, which is the champion option, for another 30 renown on top of the 110 that the Black Knight is. This goes up to toughness 4 and 22 wounds, and your attack will go to 2/4 on the damage instead of the 1/4. Looking at other units though we can bring into the force, and Necromancer is a great piece. First of all, you have the cool Necrotic Siphon ability where you can effectively steal the power of your minions around you to heal your Necromancer, which is really nice. But for me, it's that quad ability. Van Hell's Dance Macabre, I think, is one of the best quads in the entire game. Pick a number of visible friendly minions that are within 6 inch of this model, and up to the number of minions can be picked equal to the value of the ability. So a nice 5 or 6 on a quad here is really, really good. Even a 3 or 4 is solid. Each fighter can be picked to make a bonus move or a bonus attack action. You can choose to mix these up, but you can't stack this on top of the same minion more than once. Really, really powerful ability. If this can go off and you've got a decent amount of Graveguard or the units we're about to talk about, any of your minion units, You can get a lot of extra mileage out of your units just by getting that quad, and it can really shift the tides of a game. Now, speaking of other units, we have the Death Rattle Skeletons and the Deadwalker Zombies. Both of them are just minions, so they're only going to get you generic sort of abilities for the dead, but that's pretty cool. You get Shambling Horde, which is nice, so the extra bonus move if they're near a hero is really solid. And you've got pretty much an option to make. Skeleton Warriors can come with either Ancient Blades or Ancient Spears, and you've got either 3 attacks with the sword at strength 3, 1, 3, or 2 attacks with the spear at strength 3, 1, 4. You've got an extra inch of range on the spear as well, so a 2-inch range rather than the 1 on the sword. Both are toughness 4 and both have 8 wounds. Now, comparing to them, you have the Deadwalker Zombies, who have 2 attacks and a 1-inch range, strength 3, 1, 4, so pretty somewhere in between the 2 skeleton options. But they have a toughness of 4 and 10 wounds, so an extra couple of wounds in there. Really up to you on what you sort of prefer. I don't think there's any right or wrong answer in this. In fact, maybe a mix of units can be really good, with those spears providing some extra range to attack from outside of combat behind some zombies could be a really good play. But lastly, the other unit I want to talk about is bringing in some extra cavalry, and that is the Blood Knights. These are a super powerful unit where your generic sort of Bloodlight, either with Templar Blade or Templar Lance, has a toughness of 5 and 22 wounds, which is just solid for a unit. Now, you've also got Deathly Charge, you've got Impact Hit available, and you also have Thirst for Blood, where you can heal some damage after you kill things. The difference between the Templar Blades and the Templar Lances, you've got a 1-inch range on the blade with 3 attacks at strength 4, 2, 4 on the damage, or 2-inch range on the Lances with 2 attacks, strength 5, 2, 4 for the damage. So some little discrepancies there. Really up to you on what you do. I generally like the Lances more. You want your Blood Knights moving, so for me, it's the Lances all the way. Now, looking at the last bit of this video, we've got a little sample, a warband here for you. Now, we've gone for leaders. We've got our White King on Skeletal Steed, and we've picked up the Necromancer. I just think he's too good to pass up. This will really split the force here that we've built into 2 main sort of parts. Now, we've got 2 Black Knights. These will be following around with the White King on Skeletal Steed. This will be our fast-moving part of our force, which is going to go out and try and take the fight to the opponent and also get objectives deeper into the board. The Grave Guard, on the other hand, we've gone for 2 of each variation. The White Shields and Crypt Blades will be great at defending places. Meanwhile, we've got those Great White Blades for the important strength 5s you'll need against some tougher opponents that are going to try and come to you. These will be focused around the Necromancer. The Necromancer either bring them back, or if you get that lucky quad and potentially a higher one, you can make use of Van Hel's Dance Macabre to get some extra attacks or extra movement in with all of these miniatures. 975 renown is what this all comes up to, and there are some ways you could play around with this. Dropping a Graveguard here, or actually having to drop 2, would allow you to take 3 Skeleton Warriors or Zombies in any combination that you wish to do. You could also drop a Black Knight as well, which would allow you to do something similar. And there's some other things you can play around. If you're wanting to get in that Blood Knight, probably dropping a Black Knight and having some extra renown left over, or potentially dropping a Graveguard, you could probably get in a Skeleton Warrior with a Spear and a Blood Knight instead. Would be some different ways you can play around with what's inside the Warband here. Other than that, 126 wounds is on the lower end of average, in all honesty, and pretty light compared to some of the other Soulblight Gravelords videos we've done. But you've got a good mix of troops and 2 really strong focal points of power that you can use to play across the table with your Soulblight Gravelords in Warcry. Well, that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, drop us a comment down below and let us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fine little community here at Sinful Gaming, you can do so by joining our Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description. Lastly, if you'd like to help support the channel and get your name up on the screen like all these fantastic people do, you can do so by supporting us either on Patreon or YouTube members. As a special thanks to all our Patreon and YouTube members, we'd love to give them a shout out. So a shout out to our Patreons: Christian Weir, James Soren, Greenskins Gaming, AJC, Kenny Lowell, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, Anton Nilsson, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, and Dynet226. And a shout out to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Chris Wallace, Ronya, Vinny, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Revenar, Wolfric Nick, Broken Shelf, Adriana Edwards, and Sean Scott. A special thanks as well to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for our channel, and to Xmorphic, who does all the amazing background work for our channel's Discord server as well. Thank you all for watching. Once again, everyone, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.